Hi everybody, it's me, Emma. I'm making another update because I haven't updated on my quitting smoking. So that's what this update is going to be. It is going very well. I got through the first few days of cravings and torture that coming off of the drug that it is. I got through that. It was really hard, and I definitely had times where I was like literally like crying about it. Like maybe on top of the hormones and stuff, and like all you really want to, you know, take a breather is to go outside and have a cigarette, you know. So it was really, it was really difficult. So I got through that, and then I got through, the few weeks of mental addiction that it is, where, you feel bored or whatever, and mentally you just go, oh well, I'll have a cigarette, but they're not there, so I kind of retaught myself what to do. And I didn't really put anything in its place. I don't know, I wasn't gonna do it, so this is silly. It's not gonna help anybody. I just decided I wasn't going to anymore, so I didn't. And the real question is, have I cheated? And I don't know how long it's been since I actually quit, but yes, I did. I cheated once, and it wasn't that long ago actually, but it was a really good learning experience. I was having a really tough night, and I don't know, Bobby and I had an argument, and I was like, I'm leaving, and I went and bought a pack of cigarettes, because I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, because that's what I thought I needed, to like calm down or whatever. And I did. I bought a pack of cigarettes. It was $7.89 or something, and really expensive, and I didn't even care. I just bought it, and I smoked a cigarette. And it was strange, because like I cried even more when I put it in my mouth, because I was like, I'm giving up, I'm failing, And I lit it, and I smoked a few drags, and it was just like, there was no relief whatsoever. And there was no relief because there was no addiction to relieve, there was no withdrawal pang to relieve. So it didn't do anything. I might as well have stuck my thumb in my mouth, and I would have been just as fine as I was. But I finished it. I finished that cigarette because I was like looking for some sort of relief the whole way through. And it didn't do anything. It didn't relieve anything. And I guess that's something that, like, the book that I read, The Easy Way to Quit Smoking, talks about is, cigarettes don't actually fix anything. If you're smoking a cigarette, you still feel angry, or you still feel sad, or whatever. You're just smoking a cigarette, So it didn't relieve anything, and I was a little disappointed. And it tasted like the first cigarette I ever smoked. And it wasn't gross to me. I don't know. That's the one thing I disagree with in the book. They say that once you have quit, you'll realize how much it smells and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, I kind of like the smell. So yeah. I ended up going to my friend's house that night or whatever, and later on they went out to have a cigarette, and I was like, well, I'll come. So I came, and I was like, I already smoked tonight, I might as well smoke another one. So I went out and I lit up a cigarette, and it was like the second drag into it, I really just like had no urge to continue smoking. And it was really strange, and I guess the strange part was that I had no problem putting the cigarette out after 2 drags, which I did, and then I continued on, you know, hanging out and having a conversation without one just fine, you know, which is one of your concerns when you quit smoking, I guess, is, you know, am I going to be able to enjoy situations as much as I would have before? And the answer is yes. Once you actually get through it and you quit for a month or so, you will realize you don't need them in social situations or whatever. And I'm really hoping that sticks. But I definitely would advise, if anyone's trying to quit smoking still or thinking about it or whatever, I definitely still would advise you to read the book. The book is not going to make you quit. You're going to make you quit. But the book is going to help you think about quitting differently, and in turn will make the quitting process easier. Because instead of saying to yourself, you know, instead of saying to yourself, I need this cigarette, you're going to say to yourself, like what it says in the book, you're going to say to yourself, well, the cigarettes are what are making me need this next cigarette, so if I can just get over the addiction of the cigarettes, I won't need them anymore. So, I don't know, it's really like kind of like a mind game. You know, the book is really, it's trying to brainwash you into thinking that you don't need them, which you don't. And it's kind of fixing what cigarettes have done to you, which has brainwashed you that you do need them, and you want them, and you know, whatever. So yeah, get the book and read it if you're trying to quit smoking, because it definitely was an incredibly helpful aid in quitting. So yeah, I cheated. But I'm almost glad that I did, because I learned something. And I learned that I don't actually want them. Because for the past month, or I don't know, a couple of months, I have been yearning for a cigarette. Like, I've chosen that I'm not going to smoke them, but I've been really wanting to have a cigarette. Any time after a meal or whatever, I'm like, nah, I really want a cigarette, you know. The craving was less and less, obviously, as time went by, but I still think about it. But now, after having that cigarette, I think I'll have a meal and go, oh, I really want a cigarette, and then I go, yeah, no, I don't. Actually, it doesn't matter anymore. So, anyway, that's my smoking update. I cheated, I learned something, and I continue to be a non-smoker. One last thing about that incident, cheating, I did keep it in my head that there was a possibility of getting hooked again after that one cigarette that I had, even though I didn't like it. I knew that. I remembered to remind myself that the next day I may have another craving, because that's what it does to you. Or in an hour or 2 hours I may have another craving, and I have to recognize that for what it is. And I did. I had that empty, like bored, hungry feeling that nicotine craving is, and it wasn't really strong, but after having overcome that craving so many times, it was incredibly easy. So that's one thing to look forward to, I guess, if you're quitting smoking and it's really hard for you, to know that every time you deny a cigarette, it's getting easier. It's going to make it easier. So keep that in mind. And good luck to anybody who's quitting smoking, and remember to get the book if you haven't yet. I'll talk to you later. Maybe I'll do another update in a few months. Okay, bye.